My dog, what did you expect, bro? What did you expect, bro? When God chose you, bro, because you know you're the chosen one. You know you're one of the chosen ones, fam. You wouldn't be watching this video if you weren't one of the chosen ones, fam. What did you expect, bro? Did you expect to fit in? Did you expect people to really understand you? Did you really expect the world to please you? If you're like me, which I believe you are, you've been doing a lot of introspection. You've been doing a lot of work within, a lot of work on yourself, and that's the path that you're on. And you're trying to decide what to do next. And you're a truth seeker, most importantly, right? You want to know what's the truth, right? What is the truth about everything? As much as you can know, as much as you can possibly find out. That's what I was all about. Man, growing up, single mother family, saw my dad periodically. You know, I was privileged to an extent. You know, I had a good education, played sports, had friends. Started, working. Bought a car. I was always a young hustler. Got into, a lot of different things, partying, and got into some trouble. Ran into the law a couple of times. But all in all, I had a pretty level head on my shoulders. Typically, for the most part, I've been a stand-up guy my whole life, straight up. Obviously, I'm not perfect, and I never expected my life to end out perfect. I understood from an early age that if I wanted to make a change, I was going to need to make that change myself. I would need to be the change, right? Be the change that I wanted to see in the world. And I used to stress so hard about trying to figure out what the problems of the world are, and figure out the world, solve the problems of the world. But I tell you, God does not want you to try to figure out the problems of the world. That's not your responsibility. Your calling is not to try and resolve the world's problems. God's got it on control. Your mission, your task, your assignment is to do your duty and live through the embodiment of Jesus Christ, to live your best and greatest, fullest life. And in essence, through faith, and demonstrate the word. A lot of people right now during these times are afraid. There's a lot of fear going on. There's a lot of fake shit going on. But the truth is being exposed. Literal truths are being exposed, and a lot of things people are doing and saying we've already known and thought about. A lot of things that are coming to the surface we've already known, right? We just had a solar eclipse, and if you're paying attention to the energy, if you're paying attention to the world and how things are changing right now, we're in a new world. We're entering a new world order. We're entering a new dimension of time, space, reality, okay? Population, consciousness is shifting. Some for good, some for bad. But if you know anything about the laws of the universe, it is what it is. What is good, what is bad, right? But I digress. Growing up, we didn't really have somebody her best. My dad did his best, but I didn't grow up wealthy. Okay? I worked for and I would sell weed on the side, bro. There's a guy, we call him JP. My boy John, I'm not gonna drop too many names, but we had a trap house in the city, downtown Rochester. We had a trap house, man. I had a lot of associates. I had a lot of friends. I knew a lot of people growing up and coming up as a young boy, as a young man, 16, 17, 18, 19, throughout high school and college. I was always in the mix, dibbling and dabbling, going to places, meeting people, linking up, hooking up. I was a ladies' man, chasing after women, chasing after thrills, thinking I was the man, and I was doing cool stuff, but what does that even mean, right? What does that even mean? At the time, it was cool, but looking back, okay, well, great. But where did that lead me to, right? Lead me to where I am today. Some people look at life and they're like, oh, well, it's all about making the right decisions at all the right times. Bro, I've made tons of bad decisions. I'll tell you that straight up. Anybody who tells you that they haven't had, a hard time due to a bad decision they made, or someone who hasn't had a dark side to them, we don't really fuck with that, because God put you here. We're born imperfect. We're born sinners. We already knew that was going to happen. Okay, I've been baptized, I've gone through communion, I've gone through confirmation, right? I understand the signs of the cross, I understand a lot of different things, and I'm not even trying to get too religious because I respect and I'm open-minded towards religion. Okay, I have one of my clients just asked the other day, like, oh, what is your opinion towards religion? Gee, I'm open-minded when it comes to religion. I don't even really get too deep on it. I'm just spiritually open-minded. You believe what you believe. Jesus, if you're fucking Islam, you know, Allah, you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, all of this stuff, bro, I don't, you know, you can be Muslim, you can be Buddhist, you can be Hindu. It doesn't matter to me. I don't judge you based off of that. Okay, we go off of energy and intention and results. But that's neither here nor there. You know, at the end of the day, I bring God into this because we all are tapped into something. We're all tapped into some type of source, right? You know what I'm saying? We're all tapped in and listening to some type of voice. Okay? And the thing is, you haven't been listening to that voice this whole time. Your whole life, you haven't really been following. God's been trying to show you what to do. The universe has been trying to show you what to do, where to go, what moves to make, what people to reach out to, where to go, etc. Right? All this. God has been showing you and telling you. But have you been listening? If you haven't really been listening, then what do you expect? What do you expect? It's like you have a GPS that's telling you exactly where to go, at exactly what point. But if you don't follow it, where do you end up? You're lost. And God wants you to know that you're not made to be lost. God wants you to follow Him. Look to Him for leadership. Look to Him for guidance. Look to Him for direction. Growing up, bro, I didn't have much direction. You know, I was just in the streets running around. Just trying to make money, trying to have fun, you know. But I was always smart, you know what I mean? I made a lot of good decisions at the same time because I understood what consequences are. My dad always taught me, you know, about consequences. He said, you know, my dad told me that, and he would say Henry, he would say Hank. You know, my name is Henry Aaron Westbrooks, but he would call me Hank, which is a nickname for Henry, right? He would say Hank. My whole family, quick side point, you know, depending, because my mom and my dad would call me two different fucking things. My mom would call me Aaron, my dad would call me Henry. Or Hank. Hank most of the time. My grandma called me Hank. Mom would always call me Aaron. People at school knew me as Aaron. So growing up, I didn't even fucking know really how to identify, you know, with a name. I'm like, am I Henry? Am I Aaron? Is it Henry Aaron? Like, who the fuck? What the fuck, right? So that was a whole other thing in itself. I don't know if you or anybody you know has had that experience, but my whole life I pretty much was known as and referred to as an Aaron. Okay, that was my identity, right? And getting into the work world where, you know, everything is legal and it's on paper, people just, and then, you know, over the loudspeaker, and obviously because it's fucking my government name, people are gonna say Henry, and I would have to do this long explanation of about, oh yeah, like, oh, my dad calls me Henry, my mom calls me Aaron, it's whatever you want to call me, you know, I respond to both names, blah blah blah. Okay, whole point is, one day my dad was like, Hank, in every life, or in every decision you make in life, with every decision you make in life, there's going to be a consequence, whether it's good or bad, right? And that lesson has stuck with me to this day. With every decision you make in life, there will be a consequence, whether it's good or bad, and you just need to be willing to deal with it. That's some wisdom that my dad gave me at a young age when I was a young boy. Moving forward into the story, bro, I was, you know, still making my own decisions based off of free will, you know, and just, I knew what to do. I always knew what the right thing to do was, but I was just consciously making, you know, illegal decisions, which realistically, you know, at that time, I don't, you know, it was bad because selling weed was illegal. But that's all I was truly doing. You know, it's not like I was really poisoning the community. I wasn't really, like, harming anybody. Okay, I was just moving lots of weight, you know, lots of weed. We were selling pounds straight up out of the trap house downtown Rochester. It was on Brown Street, man. Straight up on Brown Street. Everybody knows that, bro. I had all my people, man. Bricks. You know what I'm saying? Nick Pick. I'm dropping nicknames so we don't talk to the feds like that, because I know they're listening. But that's what it was, bro. We used to trap crazy, bro. And I had friends I've seen come and go to drugs, bro. I was never really into the drugs like that, bro. I never really got into drugs, bro. But I know, you know, I had a lot of homies that were into drugs, you know, popping Molly, popping ecstasy, you know, fucking cocaine, whatever the fucking case may be, bro. I always just knew better, right? Because I wanted to do better. But I also knew that, you know, life is shit like that. But I also knew that, you know, hanging out with these people would be fun, but possibly a risk. But you know, there'd be moments and times when that's just what it was, dog. You know what I'm saying? When you're growing up in high school, when you're going to college, like that's just what happens. People are drinking and partying and doing shit like that, right? And you're in the mix. Unless you're what? You're just a geek. You're just a nerd. You're at the crib like squared up. I was never like that. I jumped off the porch early and I was out here, like I said. Now that all being said, bro, like that led to me making some decisions that, you know, obviously, bro, could have hurt me, could have killed me, honestly, bro. You know, which I've seen my friends, like I was saying, get lost in the sauce, you know, and lose their lives to drugs, lose their lives to alcohol or drunk driving. Fortunate for me, I'd never, you know, got too mixed, you know, too lost in the sauce. I never got too carried away, you understand me? But it could have happened, bro. And I know it happens to you and it happens to a lot of people. I know a lot of people get carried away in that shit. They get carried away just trying to, like, you know, grind and hustle, boom, 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 or whatever the case may be, bro. But you got to really take care of yourself. You know that God's got your back, bro. So during those times, bro, I also had a lot of friends who were making really good decisions. You know what I'm saying? I knew a lot of people making really good decisions, book smart decisions. And I would talk to them and hang out with them too. So I was a really well-balanced individual. Yes, I caught a couple, you know, small charges, I would say, just selling weed like I told you, but now I'm out here in California where, you know, having weed and selling weed is whatever, it's completely legal. In New York, it's legal now too. So all that really turned out to was just a waste of fucking time and energy, but it was a learning experience, right? About the matrix and control and mental, you know, fortitude, you know, and etc. Taking it all into consideration now, bro, I want you to understand that your life is what you make it, bro. You gotta be willing to take these chances. You gotta be willing to take risks. If I didn't take a lot of the risks that I took back in the day, I would never be where I'm at today. You know, fortunately enough, I knew when to cut it off. Like I knew when to stop. I knew when enough was enough. You gotta know when enough is enough. You gotta know when you're at the point of self-sabotage. I respect anybody trying to really just do what they gotta fucking do to make it work. So I'm not telling you don't do what you gotta do, but bro, be smart. Don't hurt yourself. Don't jeopardize your situation or your future. God has guided me throughout my whole time, throughout my whole process, and I 100% speak on that testimony, because every time I put myself in a situation that was risky, whether the outcome was good or bad, I always knew that God was with me, and like God carried me through. So every day, if you don't have God on your side, if you're not listening to God, if you're not listening to your voice, you know what I'm saying? If you're not listening to that voice, I don't know what you're going to expect. But if you think that you can do this all by yourself, I know what you expect. If you expect to just take on the challenges of the world by yourself, the weight of the world by yourself, if you think you can handle this all by yourself, you got another thing coming. Man up. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, hit the Robinhood link, start investing in yourself, into the stock market. Shout out to the Wall Street Trapper, man. Shout out to Grant Cardone. You know what I mean? A couple of things, you know what I'm saying, going on, man. We just out here living life to the fullest, man. Never stop winning.